Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'll be showing you how to create style sheets using Figma or creating style sheets in Figma. Getting down to the basics, we're going to head to figma.com. What is Figma? Figma is a cloud-based design tool that allows you to create, collaborate, and share your designs seamlessly. Figma is web browser based, so you don't need to download an entire software to be able to use it. Just create an account and we'll get started. Now that you're signed in, go ahead and click on design file and you will see this workspace pop up. In here, I'm going to title this specific workspace project 1 bakery website. Everything may look intimidating, but everything is all labeled. So here you have the menu, how to move, frames, shapes, pen tools, and other text tools and comment tools to the top left of your screen. And on the top right, you will have your design and prototype settings. So here you can adjust the color of your canvas workspace, as well as pick a specific design device you want to work on. So if you're creating something for like an iPhone app or a website or a presentation, but for a specific device, you can set the settings here and you'll be all set to go. To get started, we're gonna click on the frame or hit the F key on our keyboards and choose a specific layout or device we would like to create for. So I'm gonna create a website. So for this, I'm gonna look for larger devices like a MacBook, a desktop device. So I chose the MacBook Pro 14. Now that we've selected that, we're gonna zoom out a bit. So to do that, you can just move your fingers together on your mouse, or you can drag your mouse and zoom out to do so. And we're gonna label this frame our home page. Just to give an example, this is how you can label your devices. To duplicate frames or duplicate anything, you just hit Control D, or you can just right click on your keyboard and do that manually. So here we've labeled this specific frame our resource/style sheet. In the world of web development, a style sheet is a file that contains the styles for your website. For examples, how things will be written in CSS, in HTML, the images you use, the fonts, and whatnot. So here you have me labeling all of these different sections in our resource or style sheet page. So we have a color palette, a font, icon, and images. And to do so, we just hit T on our keyboards, or just go straight to our top left corner and hit the text button. Style sheets also allow us to control the look of our web pages, from things like color, fonts, layout, and spacing, and so much more. Essentially a designer's rulebook. I'll be introducing you to some tools, and the first one is pixels.com, which is a stock image and video website. The second site is coolers.co. They have a wide variety range of different color palettes that you can explore. And the last one is Adobe Color. Adobe Color, same as Coolers, has a bunch of color palettes to explore as well. You can search specific images and vibes you're looking for, and they will show up. Since we're designing for a cafe, I am looking for keywords such as coffee or cafe to get a vibe that I like. I really like this palette I found, so we're going to be using it. Now let's head back to our Figma workspace, and we're going to zoom in and click on R on our keyboard, or the square that you see that I clicked on. We're going to duplicate that multiple times, about 5 or 6 times, however much each color palette is. To get the color palettes, we are going to click each palette to copy it, then paste it in the fill section of our bottom right corner settings, and repeat for each of the color palettes. As designers, especially working in teams, it is very important to label each layer and work that you're doing, and you're going to see me do that here, where I am labeling each of the color palettes. To group things or a selection, select all items you want to group and hit Ctrl G, or right click to group them. Once I've done that, you'll see that I labeled it as color palettes. This is to help you stay organized and tidy. Moving on to fonts, we're gonna hit our T keyboard or hit the text button on our very top left tabs. And once we do that, we're going to type out a sentence, and mine was all titles in this font will be. And to select different fonts, you want to go under the text section on the right side and scroll through all the different fonts available to you to use. There you can see you can also adjust the font weight and the font size of your choosing. And I'll repeat this for other design prospects of this task. This is not design specific. I am merely just showing you how to use all these different tools and properties in Figma. As we continue on in Figma lessons, I will explain and explore more of each setting of our workspace setup. So be on the lookout for that video coming up soon. And now we're moving on to our images or our stock images. So like I said, we are creating a website or a pretend website or style sheet for a cafe. To make things easier, we're going to create multiple boxes. And to do that, we're going to click on our keyboard or the square keyboard on our top left tabs and duplicate that multiple times and layer that properly. We're going to go back to Pexels and find images that we find relevant to the branding or the style, for example. And all you're going to do is just copy the images, so Control C, or right click on each image in Pexels and go back to Figma and paste that in each square. So Control V or right click to do so. Everything that I am using for this specific style sheet and throughout this project will be made available to you all to use in a document linked below each description. So definitely be on the lookout and check the description box if you do want to do these practices along and even experiment. Pexels also offers stock videos. For the sake of time, I'm going to skip that for now. Now we're going to move on to icons. To access this tool, we are going to head to Resources, which is the 4 tabs on our top right corner, and go to Plugins. You want to search Bootstrap icons, and this will pop up. Once you do that, you are going to search for different icons that we may need for our website, for design purposes and whatnot. So if, for example, you are creating an email listing type of situation, you may want to have like an icon of like an email or like a mail. If it's more social media, you want to look for social media icons as well. You can utilize the search button or just scroll through. Keep in mind that this is Bootstrap. We may not necessarily be using Bootstrap as we code, but it's generally to provide us a guideline of what we want design-wise. Icons are small visual symbols that represent actions, objects, or concepts, making interfaces more intuitive and user-friendly. We are getting to the end of this tutorial. Please be sure to continue to label each of your layers as to keep things design-wise organized. And that is it for today's video. I hope this was helpful. See you in the next one.